Hello students, today we are going to read and understand Travel by Train, an essay by J.B. Priestley. The essay is prescribed to the students of BCom Part 2 in compulsory English. The objectives of this video presentation is to understand J.B. Priestley as a writer. We are going to read some of the important part of Travel by Train, this essay, and we are going to understand how humor and caricature is used by J.B. Priestley in this essay, and how he has delineated different types of railway travelers. Before reading the essay and understanding it, we should know biography of J.B. Priestley. He born in 1894 and passed away in 1984. For 100 years he has lived his life. He is an English novelist, playwright, scriptwriter, social commentator, public speaker and broadcaster. He served in army during First World War. He completed his education at Trinity Hall, Cambridge. By the age of 30, he established himself as an essayist and critic in the world of literature. His first novel, The Good Companions, published in 1929, and after that he became well known as a novelist also. He has written a famous travelogue. The title of the travelogue is English Journey, published in 1934. He received several honors, and every time he declined to accept the honors, including knighthood and peerage. But in 1977, he accepted Order of Merit. Travel by Train is a very delightful prose filled with light-hearted humor and caricatures. Humor is a comic quality which causing amusement. When we start reading the essay, we go on enjoying it. It is very delightful. Caricature is a picture or description that exaggerates the appearance or behavior of persons in humorous or critical way. There are certain characters in the essay. These characters are travelers in train. These characters are caricatured. Their behavior is exaggerated to caricature these characters, and humor is created. The characters we come across in this essay are the middle-aged woman, the heavy carriers, the non-stop eaters, the noisy children, the cranks, the innocent people, the mighty sleepers, the seafaring men, the confidential strangers, the elderly man. The first character we come across in the essay who travels by train is the middle aged woman. To understand the essay perfectly, you have to call to mind the experience of travel by train, your experience of travel by train. Priestley explains the middle aged woman as a person with a rasping voice and a face of brass. She has very rough voice and face of brass, shameless face. There are no emotions seen on her face. She evades into the smoking compartments that are already filled with smokers. She is described as a character who comes in shouting and bustling, and she is accompanied by a dog that is only 1 degree less offensive. Then we come across the heavy carriers. These are the passengers who go on journey by carrying all odd chattels and even household utensils, packing them in brown paper. Furthermore, they also carry baskets of fruits and bunches of flowers to add to their own and other people's misery. The other characters, the travelers we find in trains, are the non stop eaters. They are described as simple folks who board the railway carriages for the only purpose of eating and drinking. Once they are settled, they pass each other tattered sandwiches and scraps of pastry, and talking with their mouths full and scattering crumbs over the trousers of fastidious old gentlemen. These travelers create for problem for others. The noisy children. These children don't make good companions, travel companions. They whimper and howl throughout the journey. Also, they spend all their time dubbing their faces with chocolate or trying to climb out of the window. These children also create problems for other travelers. Sometimes we come across the cranks also. The cranks are described as those who insist on keeping the windows open when the atmosphere is cold and desolate day. It is very cold outside. At that time, they insist you to open the window. And when the day is hot and full sunshine is there outside, at that time they tell you to close the window. So opposite things they do. Such people are also there in the railway. Some railway travelers are very innocent. The writer calls them as the innocent people. They are the ones who always board the wrong train. Neither do they have the understanding to interpret the complicated railway timetables, nor do they ask the railway officials for advice. They climb into the train that comes first. In the midst of the journey, with a sudden look round the carriage, they inquire whether they are on the right train or not. The writer has often wondered whether these people will ever reach their destination. There are certain travelers to whom the writer calls mighty sleepers. They are the ones who have sleep at their command. Once they get into the train, they compose themselves and are off to sleep in a moment. 2 minutes or so from their destination, they wake up, collect their baggage, and a moment later they go out alert and refreshed. The author describes these mighty sleepers as descendants of the seven Ephesus. There are certain travelers who are seafaring men. They have lots of experience of their life of voyage on the sea. They make good companions on the railway journey because they are always ready for a crack with any person, and their talk is quite interesting for others. But these type of travelers, we can meet them only in the coastal towns. The confidential stranger, the writer calls to such travelers who are rarely seen. But if you start talking to them, they go on speaking about their own life. The writer calls them as very dull dogs who compel the passenger to yawn through the lengthy story of their own life. They take pleasure in talking things about their own interests and life. In the essay, the writer has used certain allusions. Allusion is usually an implicit reference, perhaps to another work of literature or art, to a person or an event, as allusion may enrich the work by association and give it birth. So there are certain allusions used by the writer in this essay. The first one is seven of Ephesus. It refers to the legend of seven noble Christians who lived in Ephesus. Ephesus is an ancient Greek city. Who these seven Ephesus, they were fleeing the persecution of Emperor Decius. The emperor comes to know that these noble Christians take shelter in a cave, the emperor orders to close the entrance of the cave. But as an heavenly intervention, these noble Christians fell into a deep sleep for 187 years. When the cave was opened, these men came to know that Christianity was established in their country. They narrated their story to the people, and after that, they die. Then we come across another allusion, that is of river Lethe. Lethe is one of the five rivers in the underworld. It is mentioned in Greek mythology. The Lethe flows through the underworld where all those who drank from it experience complete forgetfulness. So, Lethe is the river of forgetfulness. So, this reference is used to describe the mighty sleepers. In the train, the writer writes, sometimes you come across an elderly person. The elderly man is a neatly dressed person who is always seated in a corner. He opens his conversation by pulling out a golden hunter and remarking that the train is at least 3 minutes behind time. And from then on, his talk will be about all the trains. The author wants the readers to be aware of the elderly man because he is the ancient mariner of railway travelers. Ancient mariner is a reference, is an illusion used by the writer in this essay. Ancient Mariner, actually, with the title The Rime of Ancient Mariner, it is a poem, long poem by S.T. Coleridge. In the poem, the ancient mariner has glittering eyes. He has the skill to hypnotize the people. And therefore, if you come across a man, an elderly person, you must be aware of him because he has the capacity to attract you, to make you to listen to him for a long time, long time. Therefore, the writer cautions the travelers to be careful of the elderly person who is like ancient mariner. Here we are going to stop. In the next audio lecture, I will tell you about the use of phrases, idioms by the writer in the same essay, Travel by Train.